Did your mother take out credit cards without asking you?
Several of them.
Moving in with mom puts a bite on her son.
How much was your dental bill that you charged to him?
It was like $3,000.
Children don't pay for their mother's teeth.
And the bank had to eat the rest.
You still living in the house?
The house ended up burning.
Oh, that's convenient.
We were under foreclosure, though.
Also convenient. This is some family.
This is Judge Judy.
Jordan, this is your fiancé,
Correct.
and this is your mother.
Correct.
And there was a time when you and your fiancé were living with your mother.
Correct.
Give me the time frame that you and your fiancé were living with your mom.
From this date, it was about maybe 2 years ago.
For how long did you live with her?
About a year and a half.
Were you both working at the time?
I had some part-time jobs here and there. I was a martial arts instructor, an assistant teacher, and Bobby is a full-time student.
Are you still a full-time student?
I am. I'm currently taking 14 units at a nursing program.
How do you support yourself?
Through financial aid, mostly.
Jordan, during the time you were living with your mother, the electricity was shut off. And at that time, according to you, you agreed to put the electricity in your name because your mother couldn't get it turned back on in her name.
I was not involved in any of the agreements at all.
Who was?
Bobby and my mother. It was done without my knowledge.
So tell me about the conversation, Mr. McKay, that you had with Jordan's mother.
Dina had told us that the electric was going to be turned off and told us what day it was going to be turned off. And Dina and I sat down and talked about opening it in my name and her making all the payments because I was already paying her about $500 a month for rent. Obviously, I, being a full-time student and having limited income from the financial aid, I wasn't able to pay it. So she was going to be taking over and making all those payments. We sat down and agreed that I would go ahead and open it up, and it would set up auto payment through the electric company, and it would come out of her father's account and be paid every month.
Out of her father's account?
Yes.
Why out of her father's account?
She does all of the bills out of her father's account. Her father is the one that owned the house that we were living in, and I paid rent to
Was
Dina.
he living there as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody else other than the defendant, her father, and the two of you?
At the time, it was just my fiance, myself, Dina, her daughter, and her father.
Her daughter?
Yes.
And her brother and his girlfriend.
When you were there?
They moved in later.
But they were there during that period when you were there?
Yes.
Yes.
Were they paying you rent?
Yes, he was paying rent.
Not they, the other people who were living there.
No, they were not.
In any event, this is what this case is about. The electricity bill was up in the thousands and was not paid. Why not?
When I moved in with my father, my sister was living there with her husband. When I moved in, they had accumulated a $6,000.
That they weren't paying.
Exactly. So then when I came into the picture, it was an enormous amount. PG&E turned it off because so-called...
Well, why didn't you put it in your name?
It was under my name.
Why, if you weren't living there?
Because I was trying to help my mom establish the credit.
All right.
Yeah.
So people use electricity in your family and they don't pay the bills. That's what it's about. And you
Yeah.
keep going from person to person to person,
Yeah.
opening up new accounts. So the electric company has this $6,000 bill, this
Yes.
$4,000 bill. Then you said you weren't living there. Can we open it in your name because you have credit? Anyway, how much was the bill?
It came up to $3,253.10.
When were you notified of that?
We had already moved out because of some tension and drama between her brother and myself, but we had told them that if they continued to make payments on the PG&E that we would continue to have it on in my name there. And she had the information to pay PG&E. She had the account information, she had the email address with the password, and she
They don't pay electric in her family.
Yes, I understand.
I don't know what else they don't pay, but they don't pay electric. May I see the last notice from the electric
ma'am.
company, please? You still living in the house?
No, I don't live in the house. The house ended
What-
up burning.
What?
It burned. The
Oh,
house
that's
ended up
convenient. Was it insured?
burning. Yes.
Yes.
Your Honor,
But it
Also-
was, we were under foreclosure, though.
Also convenient.
Well, my father, after my
Also-
mom passed away,
Convenient.
my mom passed away. That's why.
$3,253.10.